It takes money to serve God. And so every time money is committed to you, especially those who are workers, you must understand that every kobo must be accounted for. Kingdom resources is not one to handle carelessly. Every dime represents a soul. Every dime represents God's glory. And so if you mess with it, it's not naira you are dealing with. You are dealing with souls, and you are dealing with glory in the currency that you are handling. If you don't understand it and you mismanage kingdom funds, there are consequences. The Bible said in Zechariah 1:17, cry out loud, tell them my cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad. So every kingdom resources is directly proportional to a degree of spread. So kingdom advancement is calculated in terms of currency. And so the money you are carrying is not something you handle carelessly. God considers it as a spread. So the reason it moves from Galadimawa to Kubwa is because there's an amount of money spent. The reason it moves from Abuja to the United Kingdom is because there's an amount of money spent. So you are looking at 10 million. God is looking at Africa to Europe. If you touch that money, you have affected the impact of the kingdom. So the way you handle money must impact on the kingdom. Otherwise, there are consequences. In Deuteronomy 8:18, the Bible said, you shall remember the Lord your God. It is him that giveth thee power to get wealth. What for? To establish his kingdom, his covenant, even this day. So you need to be conscious that money in church is not the same as money in bank. The value of money in church is different. The money on the altar is somebody's faith. Somebody is trusting God for the fruit of the womb and expressed her faith by putting the money on the altar. You carry it, you say this is 5,000 naira. You are joking. That is a baby you are carrying. If you mismanage that money, you are in trouble. You carry 1,000, you say this is 1,000. That's somebody's worship. Somebody came and dropped that money weeping and worshiping God. You mismanage that money, you have mismanaged God's worship. I'm telling you why some, instead of being blessed as workers, they are cursed. You don't know these things, you will take kingdom service for granted. Even if they give you kingdom money, don't spend it and pay back, because what you are paying back is not what you spent. Somebody drops money and say, every cost in my father's house, Lord, this is my expression of faith. I put this 10,000 to break the cost. You carry 10,000, you spent it, you replace 10,000. You are doing a deal. You don't know what you are doing. The first 10,000 you spent is the cost of a lineage. The one you replace is 10,000. The one you spent is a cost. And so the grace and the anointing that should terminate the cost is what you have put on yourself. Service in the house of God is sacred. It's not a joke. But what is the beauty? These are the things God has entrusted us with. These are the things God has committed to us. So we have become partakers and participators of divine administration. This is why a worker in the house of God is not an ordinary person. Because you think you are just treasurer. They give you 100,000. That means you are now in charge of the blessings of a family. That means you are now in charge of the promotion of a people. That means you are now in charge of the fruitfulness of barren women. So what you are keeping custody of now is not just 100,000. So for you who carries that level of responsibility, who devil will be allowed to touch you? I carry the child of a woman. I carry the blessing of a woman. I carry the future of a family. How can I then be in danger? This is why a worker is a blessed person. The jealousy of God is invested to preserve you. See, we don't know these things. That's why we take kingdom service for granted. If I'm the one to come and open the door of the church, do you think I can have accident? The whole worship that day, the whole offering that day, the whole blessing that day, the whole impartation of that day depend first on me. Which demon can stop me from moving? So, but that service of opening the door alone has exonerated me from attacks. That's the sacredness of walking in the house of God. Please sit down for a moment. We see, when God calls you to serve him, it's an honor. Metei makona, metei makona, metei makona, metei makona, bazanji soboroba, metei makona, metei makona, bazanji kunyapa, metei makona, 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 aini bazanji zoruba, metei makona, metei makona, bazanji kunyaba, metei makona, metei makona.